Students head back into the classroom amid a city facing a humanitarian crisis on the streets. And student safety is top of mind for Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler. About 2 weeks ago, he announced an emergency declaration banning homeless camps near school campuses and along school walking routes.
So the executive directive that leads to the clearing of safe routes to schools has gone very well. We've removed about 50 camps since that started mid-August-ish. And by and large, we haven't had any problems.
They've also referred 7 people into addiction treatment centers, and 350 people have since gone into shelter.
Which I think is something that's pretty fantastic. But it's gone well. By and large, when we sit down and we meet with the campers and we explain to them why they can't camp in those particular locations, they understand and they typically leave.
How is the city enforcing that people don't come in right behind them and camp in that same location near the schools?
Right, and we do expect that that'll happen. And one thing we've learned is once we clear an area, typically some people will come back even though there's no right to return. But this is really about sitting down and explaining one-on-one with individuals. You know, we're not telling them they can't camp in the city of Portland. In this case, what we're telling them is there's very specific reasons why they cannot camp on the safe route to school. That has to do with health, it has to do with safety, it has to do with safety of our kids, and the vast majority of people understand and they do comply.
There are some campsites near schools, specifically near the Metropolitan Learning Center in Northwest, where campers there told me on Sunday that they're camping in protest of this ban. They're not leaving. So what is your response to that? And then what is your response to the parents that know this and don't feel safe sending their kids to school?
Well, we've got to combine those two things, right? The reality is we always expect people to protest or to push back or some people to come back. But again, this is based on the reality that kids are walking around camps by walking into traffic to get around camps. That's not safe for the kids. And when we sit down and we explain to the campers why we are specifically moving them out of these safe route to school corridors, the vast majority understand. For those that are protesting, we will go back, we will repost, we will re-explain, we will offer services to those individuals, shelter, transportation, storage for their items.
But I think the reality is there are people that are staying in those locations, and this process that you just explained is so lengthy. It takes time. I'm not sure what the staffing looks like in order to be at all of these campsites. So I mean, it's not an overnight fix. And there are people living in these neighborhoods that don't feel safe.
Yeah, and that's why I have passed these executive directives. The first around safe crash corridors. That's why we stood up the Street Services Coordination Center to make sure all of our city bureaus are working together to help remediate the most problematic camps.
Many Portlanders have lost faith in the city's response to this crisis.
I'm not surprised. After 4 years of horrific focus on what is clearly a humanitarian crisis on our streets, I totally get that. I mean, look, I live here. My kid goes to school here. I shop here. I go out to bars and restaurants in the city of Portland. I hear it all day long. I hear it early morning to late at night. I get the emails, I get the texts, I get the cat calls, I get people approaching me all the time. I understand the frustration, and believe me, I share it. But we are making progress.
And I think part of that frustration is just the number of phone calls and emails that people send through PDX Reporter, calling 311. It takes them sometimes hundreds of calls and months in order to even just get a response from someone on the other end. Why is that?
Yeah, so here's where I think we need to improve it. I still strongly encourage people, please do call the 311 non-emergency line or use the Portland Reporter, the PDX Reporter app. That data is collected. We received just last week 3,140 campsite complaints. We get that information, it is prioritized. All of the camps are visited and assessed. And so that data is used. I think where we could be better about it is responding back to people and letting them know how that data is used.
Although staffing shortages get in the way of them responding to every report, which is why many go unanswered.
And we're not set up to address these kinds of significant social problems. But we are rapidly tooling up and getting the people, the resources, and the personnel that we need.
Wheeler says the city is putting money towards building a new infrastructure to address the homeless crisis.
What is your response to the people who have lived here for 10, 20 years and now they're moving? They say they've given up on Portland and they're selling their homes and they're moving out because they don't see that future that you're speaking of.
They're selling into the low. I'd strongly recommend against it. If they stuck around this long to the point where we've now put these programs and infrastructure into place, we're starting to see the positive results. This isn't the time to pack up and quit. I want people to work with us, not get mad and leave, but fine, get mad at me, shout at me, scream at me, but work with me.
Well, many argue that it's difficult to work with the city when there's not enough staffing to answer their phone calls and emails. But despite all this, Mayor Wheeler says the city is making a turnaround and encourages people to go downtown and see for themselves. You may be pleased or not. Brittany?